Nikola Tesla, he had understood many things about the nature of our reality. He'd understood about the electromagnetic fields that you can access and turn into usable warmth and power. What HAARP does is it fires radio waves, very, very focused and very powerful, into the upper atmosphere, known as the ionosphere. It entrains, as they say. It gets the ionosphere to vibrate in sympathy with the radio wave. And this creates a situation where this entrainment adds massive, massive, massive power to the original radio wave, and then it's bounced back to Earth, massively greater power, and they can hit a specific spot on the Earth. And if they can hit somewhere which is vulnerable in terms of earthquakes anyway, and they can do it at a specific frequency, because earthquakes have a frequency like everything does, then they can cause an earthquake and they can cause a tsunami. And they can cause, with the same principle, they can cause very great extremes of weather, like hundreds of unprecedented tornadoes that appeared in 2007 and killed hundreds of people in America.
And we share this was enough, but I need to sit down in front of the news and see what took place in Abaco, because that couldn't just been a hurricane.
There have been multiple tornadoes.
It wasn't just a hurricane, there have been tornadoes. The way people's homes are destroyed, and me living in this Bahamas, I done been through a Category 5 hurricane right there in South Beach by JM. I have never seen nothing like that. That was not only a hurricane.
And, you know, people say, oh, no, you can't mess with the weather, it's ridiculous. Well, hold on a second. There are international treaties which countries have signed saying that it's illegal to manipulate the weather and to use it as a weapon of war. Well, they're not going to have those treaties unless they know it's possible. It's ridiculous. We have a situation where, yes, of course there are natural earthquakes, but they don't all have to be. And you can bomb somewhere from an aircraft, or you can cause devastating earthquakes and devastating weather events. And you can bring countries to their knees that way. And in many ways, you know, people within the establishment, you know, they know that Fukushima and that earthquake and tsunami and everything, they know it was created. It wasn't a natural event. And what that says to them, and what they're saying to them with that event is, if you say no to us, look what we can do. If they want to bring Japan to its knees, they've got to find a way, like they did in with the two, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, at the end of the Second World War. But today they would have to find an excuse to send the boys in. Well, they can't find an excuse. So instead of that, we'll go the way that they have, because Japan is over. It's over. The amount of radiation that has been released into the Earth's atmosphere is potentially catastrophic. The amount that's been released in the immediate area around Japan and the wider Japan is unthinkably catastrophic. And we you know, I mean, people are already starting to go down with the effects of it, and we've seen nothing yet. Well, this is what's happening in the real world because of this technology that they have. And, you know, Tesla, in an interview with the New York Times in the 1940s, I think it was, maybe a bit earlier, he said that he had the technology to split the Earth in half. Then he was producing lightning around his home in New York. The neighbors were calling the police. He was causing kind of mini earthquakes, getting the Earth to shake because of the technology he had, and thousands of windows were breaking before he could switch it off. And Bernard Eastland, the man who applied, first of all, for the patent for the technology that is used in HAARP, based in Alaska, but there's connecting technology all around the world. That's just the main focal point. He mentions Tesla when he's applying for the patent. It's Tesla technology. And if Tesla could, do that devastation he said he could do back in the 1930s and 40s, what the heck can they do now? So you have a situation in 2010 when in the run-up to it, in the years running up to 2010 around Haiti, it was established that there were major resources under the sea in Haiti waters.
Okay, so in 2004, the European tribes came back to Haiti as proprietor and landowner, and they built the largest U.S. embassy in the Western Hemisphere in Haiti, and it is the 4th largest U.S. embassy in the world. While they're telling you we have no resources, they are building themselves a footprint that's bigger than all their other embassies, except for 4.
And what's the relevance of that?
They need a place to store all they are acquiring.
All the plundering.
In different part of Haiti right now, while people are sleeping or doing their own business, they are digging What they dig, they take with the soil, with them. And when they leave, they just leave the hole wide open. In the northern part of the country, where companies goes to mine gold, when they take the gold out, they don't do anything with the soil to assist the people that are living there. So the resources that we have on the lands are being excavated and taken into cars and leaving at night.
And beyond gold now, there are other resources that are critically important.
Oil. Haitian geologist says that Haiti's oil is bigger than Venezuela's oil, which has the biggest cachet. They say that Haiti's oil is a swimming pool to Venezuela's cup of water. Also, you have to understand, how does oil come? Haiti is on four tectonic plates making that oil. It's on the Caribbean Basin, the North American tectonic plate, the South American tectonic plate, and the Atlantic tectonic plate. Massive oil, because that's how what's the same thing with the Middle East, okay? But another thing, Haiti has an extraterrestrial material that is found nowhere else in the world except South Africa, and it's the purest in Haiti. 65 million years ago, an asteroid landed in this space. We have an asteroid mountain in different places. We have mountains. They're made of asteroid. They use this asteroid because it's the remain of this asteroid that is so heat resistant that they use for spacecrafts. They have been... Professor Henry Vixamar of Haiti says 1 ton of Haiti's iridium.
I wanted to get to
iridium is worth $45 billion. We have mountains of it. So what the UN occupation is that they put soldiers and private military contractors in UN uniforms. They're everywhere in Haiti, digging out the mountains. You can go to Haiti, and yes, you can see. Like, I was in Haiti one time, and I saw 12 UN trucks with these black dirt, just going through. I'm like, so they literally, since 1986, with the fall of Duvalier, the U.S. military has been taking out Haiti's iridium. But in addition to, they say, we have 20 billion worth of gold, 8 billion worth of copper, 120 billion worth of oil. And this iridium, we have mountains of it. The United States is in Haiti because of its economic and strategic interests. We are also between Cuba and Venezuela. We're right in the middle, and strategically, they want that space. So,
in 2010, this devastating earthquake brings the end to Haiti. It just so happened, that the American military were having an exercise at exactly the same time that was based on a scenario of reacting to, I think it was a hurricane or something like that, hitting Haiti. And they were down in Florida doing their exercise. And then the earthquake happened, and they said, we just switched from exercise to real thing. And they were in there in no time.
The cruise ship that is coming to St. Lucia in the name of health from America, they claim. The USA, I know what state, I know what. But my advice to you guys, if you want it, take it. If you do not want it, I guess I will come to your burial when the day comes. I have to tell it to you all as is. I live in America, and I do not have free health insurance, free doctor visits, or anything. If I go to the doctor, I have to pay out of pocket if I don't have insurance. If I go to the hospital, I will get bills at my house. Do not go on that cruise ship looking for health care. They will inject you all with certain things and say that they're giving you all health care. Do not become a lab rat to those so-called American doctors. I am warning you all. Do not trust that.
And if you remember, the aid agencies that were trying to land in Port-au-Prince in Haiti, they were saying in the immediate days after the earthquake, the American military have taken over the airport, so they're not letting us in. They took the place over. And then along came Clinton and Boyd Bush as the people that were going to front up the Haiti Reconstruction Fund, and then they disappeared, and Haiti, virtually nothing's been done, because the idea was to destroy Haiti, take it over, because then you've got the resources. And the idea was to destroy Haiti, take it over, because then you've got the resources. And you can do that with an earthquake. You know, how are they going to justify destroying Haiti by dropping bombs on it? I mean, they're not going to do it. But you can do it through HAARP and earthquakes. And scientists who've done research into the effect of what they call ELF waves, extremely low frequency waves, and how they can manipulate us mentally, emotionally, and physically. There was one particular area of research into something called the woodpecker signal. People might remember this, when the Soviet Union was found to be broadcasting a signal into the United States. It was called the woodpecker signal because it went like a woodpecker, like that. And what it was doing was broadcasting information in this signal into the United States in an attempt to influence the perceptions and views and thoughts of the population. And what these scientists found is what this woodpecker signal was doing was connecting into the power grid, as they put it, being radiated by the power grid, it given greater power. And it was going into the homes and being broadcast into the homes through the light fittings. Now, that was a case of hacking in to an electricity grid and light fittings that were not purpose-built to do that. They just hacked into the electricity grid as it has been up to this point.
I just heard an audio about a cruise ship coming to St. Lucia, and I want to add on to what she's saying. I'm a St. Lucian. I live in America. She said nothing wrong. My wife is a journalist, and she actually interviewed a woman that was at a meeting in Atlanta at the CDC. The woman had to give up her cell phone, and everyone in the room, a cameraman, everyone had to give up the cell phone. They were having a conference call with doctors all over America and investors all over America. The woman, when she left the conference meeting, she was so livid, she was so hurt, she broke down crying. When she met my wife, she told my wife everything she saw and heard. These people, these pharmaceutical industry people and the doctors and all the investors on Wall Street actually have patents and they own the disease. They're creating diseases. They plan to release a lot of stuff on people, and they have the cure, they have the vaccines, and they're going to make trillions. The chikungunya and all these other things, the Zika virus, these are things that they release on black nations because they actually want to get the people sick. Now, a lot of y'all people don't believe there's a God, you don't believe in Christ and all that, but I'm telling you, he's the one that's been stopping what they're doing. They want to actually cause an epidemic. They want to cause people to fall dead and get sick. So they will come with a vaccine, and people, they will charge a bunch of money. People will be selling homes, selling land, whatever they can. The price of your lands will go down cheap because the nation is sick. So thank God it didn't happen. It didn't happen the way they expected. The human body fought back. But this is not a lie. This is real. These people are planning to get a lot of people sick, especially in black nations. Almost every time you hear of a bunch of diseases suddenly show, always a black nation, a black country. Ebola, Africa, Brazil, Zika virus, the Caribbean, chikungunya, if I'm pronouncing it right. They have a plan, they have an agenda to become richer than rich. And they're the ones releasing all these diseases. They're the ones who have the vaccines to cure people. If you think I'm crazy, when Ebola was released, all of a sudden, a vaccine showed up when a white man got it. But no vaccine for black people. And the vaccine doesn't work with people that have melanin in their skin. Who else has melanin but black people? Brown people. It is crazy. And they're playing dumb. A lot of white people act like they don't see what's going on. They know what's going on. St. Lucians, they want your lands, they want your country. Jamaicans, they want your land, they want your country. Brazilians, wherever you are, if you have beautiful tropical land where it's warm and you have wonderful climate, they want it. They want the beachfront property. They want everything that we have. Do not be fooled. Chaste and a lot of this bourgeoisie leadership in the Caribbean, they sell out our nations. They sell out our land to a lot of foreign interests. The Chinese, the Europeans, the Japanese, they do not care because it does not affect them. When they get their large check and move to another country where they don't have to be bothered by our turmoil and our pain.